How? You out? You in? What do you want?
I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have Invisalign on the bottom of my teeth and I just got it, so I'm like getting used to it. So I apologize if I speak a little bit weirdly. Oh my gosh, it sounds so bad. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to take this out, like I can't talk. Have you guys ever been confused about how to use MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5 effectively? I've had a few people ask me if I can do a video on MT4, so I just thought why not throw MT5 in there as well? They're pretty similar. So if you are struggling to use either MT4 or MT5 and you just want a quick and easy video on how to use its functions, then keep watching. What is up guys, Candace B here. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Welcome back to my subscribers and welcome to my new ones. I hope you guys are staying healthy and staying safe. I know that there is a lot going on in the world right now and we're just kind of being hit left, right, and center with just a bunch of stuff, but I did want to take a few minutes just quickly to address the situation at hand because I feel like it is directly affecting me. Now listen, this is nothing new. What's happening in the world with the riots and the protests, this is history repeating itself. You simply cannot expect a group of people, especially a group of people who have built a whole country, to just sit back and be passive to all of the injustice that they are experiencing in that country that they built. For me, I personally encourage protesting. I encourage using your voice. I encourage using your education to change the world for the better. And I feel like with this Black Lives Matter movement, that is their goal. Black Lives Matter, their goal is to be the voice of a whole nation of people who are tired. They are tired and they are fed up with all the crap that has been given to them. So they've decided to take a stand and to let their voices be heard so that things can change. And in my opinion, things have to change on the government side, the legislations. It's really important to have these laws changed and this legislation in place to show that there is equality, because if, heaven forbid, something happens again in the future, which I wouldn't be surprised would happen, then at least we can hold those individuals accountable. And us as Black people, we don't want to just sit here and be treated like animals. It's happened for centuries at this point and we're just tired. I feel like especially if you're watching this and you've had the sense, you've had the wisdom enough to know that, you know, you need to generate income for yourself. You cannot rely on a 9-to-5 job forever, and that, you know, the internet is this great place to be able to generate multiple sources of income, then you would also have enough sense to know that humans are humans and that all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. Logistically, it doesn't make sense if you're saying all lives matter, but Blacks aren't included in that. You know what I mean? Like, Black lives have to matter and then all lives can matter. We're not saying we're superior or anything like that. It's just that it's included. All includes Black people, right? Y'all get that? So yeah, that's basically my point of view. It's very straightforward, very simple. I'm very mentally exhausted from seeing everything. You know, I'm still recovering mentally from all the things that have been happening. I'd encourage you guys all to educate yourself on the past, and I'm talking to myself as well. We need to be able to look at the past, no matter how brutal it is, and understand what happened so that we don't repeat it in the future. Because as ugly as the past may be, the present is not that pretty either. So, you know, especially if you're someone who has a family or you're planning to have a family, why would you want your family or your kids to grow up in a world full of hate? That does not make sense, and it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, it doesn't matter what religion you are, it doesn't matter what race you are. You should not want your kids to grow up in a hateful world. You want to give your kids the best. So it's up to you to educate yourself first so that you can pass down the proper information to them so that they don't hate others. Everyone's going to have their opinion. It is what it is. But I feel like the first thing to do is educate, especially if you're someone who's learning about Forex. You're on this channel to learn about Forex. I always tell you guys, research, do your research. Same thing applies here. Do your research, be self-sufficient, understand the past so that it doesn't repeat itself in the future. And if you are not Black but you have Black friends, please do not message them saying, oh, I'm sorry that this is happening. Don't do that, please. Instead, what you can do is have conversations with your inner circles, you know, your other friends who are not Black, your family members who might not be as woke as you. Start from there and encourage them to educate themselves and then go from there. I feel like that would be a better starting point. And then of course, just get involved in terms of voting. And yeah, let's just hope that this world gets better, because at this point, child, But yeah, that's just my general point of view on the topic. And at the end of the day, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives must matter. And this is a channel that supports that Black Lives Matter movement. So if you do not support that movement, then anyways, I know you guys are here to learn more about MT4 and MT5, so let's get right into it. I guess you can say that this is going to be kind of a tutorial in the sense that I'm just going to show you guys some main functions on MT4 and MT5, just for those people who are struggling to use it and don't really know where to start. Now, as a disclaimer, of course, this video is just going to be from my point of view in terms of how I use these platforms, so take it with a grain of salt. I know there are probably many ways to use MT4 and MT5, but I'm just going to show you guys how I personally use it. And really my goal with this video is just to help those who need it, just to figure out how to start using these platforms and then figure them out further on their own. Everyone's gonna have a different preference in terms of how to use MT4 and MT5, so I can't really tell you guys how to use it, but these are just simple tips. Now, me personally, I use MetaTrader 4, but I do know a lot of people that use MetaTrader 5, so it's totally up to you guys just to take the time to research the similarities and differences, just so that you can make an informed decision on which platform is best for you. So in this video, I'm just going to go over 3 main things, which includes customizing your MT4 and MT5 to your liking, using the objects and tools that are available on the platforms, as well as just placing trades, you know, pending orders, stop losses, take profits, etc. Just like where to do all that. So customizing your MT4 and MT5 to your liking is pretty simple overall. All you will really need to do is just go to settings and then go to charts, and then you'll see a bunch of options. So at this point, you can choose whatever type of chart you want. So, you know, there's the bar chart. I'll show you guys what that looks like. This is what the bar chart looks like. If you want to change it to candlesticks, which is usually what it would be on, then you would see candlesticks. Or if you want to do a line chart, this is what a line chart would look like. So that's where you would choose the type of chart that you would like. For me, I use a candlestick chart. It's just what I've always used. I feel like with the bar chart, it's kind of harder to read. It's harder to kind of see what's going on. And with the line chart, it doesn't tell you much except maybe the direction of the trend. But yeah, the candlestick chart, I feel like gives you the most information. And so once you've chosen just kind of the chart, then you can just kind of customize it. For me, I have everything just basic. I don't want any random lines or separators. If you do the period separator, it basically just like separates certain periods of time. And then you can go in the color section here and you can just change different colors. You can change, you know, the bull candles, bar up candle, bear candle, bar down, all that type of stuff. So play with it, have fun with it, etc. So yes, as you can see, it is very quick and easy to customize your MT4 or MT5 on a mobile device. So yeah, I don't know if it looks different on like an Android, like a Samsung or something like that, but this is how it looks on an iPhone. Now on my laptop, this is how MT4 looks like. I was able to download the MT4 app on MacBook through Hugo's Way, so that's how I personally did it. So don't ask me if there's any other ways. I don't know, because this is how I did it. As you can see, the interface looks pretty old school. Some may like that, some people may not. But yeah, this is just how it looks. You can't really change it. So to customize MT4 on your laptop, there are 2 ways to do it. So the first way, you can just go to the top here and you're going to go to charts, and then you're going to go to scroll down. You're going to press properties. And when you press that, you will see this pop up, and this is exactly where you would be kind of customizing everything. So you can do like color scheme, you can change that. You can do all that. And then in addition to color scheme, you can kind of like choose just how to customize it even further with the bars, line graphs, stuff like that, whatever you want to do. So another way to access that window would be if you just want to go anywhere on the screen. For MacBook users, you just use your 2 fingers and then you click down and then you scroll down and you see properties. That's another way to access it. And for non-MacBook users, as you can see, if you click anywhere on the screen and you come up to this, it shows you that you can also press F8. So you got 3 options. You fancy. Us MacBook users, we only got 2 options, okay? I'm jealous. What I really like about MT4 on the laptop is that you can actually preview your customizations before you save it. So you can, when you change it, you can actually see it changing here. I think that's pretty cool because you don't have that on the mobile device, so you can play around with it and do literally whatever you want and it'll show you every which way. So yeah, that's pretty cool. How I see it, you want to be drawn to the charts. You don't want to look at a chart and be like, like you want your eyes to naturally gravitate towards the chart and how it looks, just so that it's more enjoyable when you analyze it. Another thing that I really like and I find very convenient about the laptop version of MT4 is that you can actually save the template. So if you end up opening a chart for a new currency that you might not have accessed on MT4 before, then you'll notice that by default it just kind of looks crazy, and you can actually go ahead and apply the template that you used on your previous currencies to this new one. So it's super convenient. So you would just do the same kind of double click to bring up this menu, and you would go down and right there you see template, and then that's where you can, you know, save the template. And these are all kind of default, they're already there, but if you scroll down, you will see mine that I saved as user. So yeah, that's basically all that there is to it when it comes to customizing the charts for yourself on MT4 and MT5. I don't know how MT5 looks on a laptop, but I'm assuming that it looks similar to MT4, just like how the mobile versions look similar. So do your research if you are curious to know if they look the same. Go ahead and like this video right now if you agree that that was pretty darn easy. So now that we have our charts customized to our liking, the next thing that we're going to do is look into the objects and tools so that we can mark up our charts while we are doing our analysis. So as you can see on the mobile app, you're just going to go ahead at the bottom there and choose chart. And then at the top, you're gonna see 3 different options. You're gonna choose the 3rd option that shows the shapes there. And then as you can see, it brings you to this window that shows a bunch of just default objects. And then of course, if you click add object, you're gonna just see all the different objects and tools that you can use. So for me, I just use the objects under the subtitle that says lines, and then at the bottom, the one that says shapes. I'll use like rectangles just to draw, you know, zones and whatnot. I'll use like a line, a trend line, but I don't use the other stuff like Fibonacci and Elliott wave and whatnot, but if that's what you use, then this is where you would find it. What you'll notice is that when you use objects, they're gonna become default for you. So for me, I just use the circle. So let's say if I go to add object and I want to use arrowed line and I actually use it, once I go back to the shape section, you're gonna see that the arrowed line is part of my default section. So yeah, that's pretty cool that it just keeps it there as a default. Once you've used something, then you can just kind of access it right away. You don't have to go to add object and go back to find it. It's just right there on your default. But because you have a smaller screen, it can be kind of tricky to be accurate in terms of your markings. So as you'll see, you know, doing trend lines and whatnot, it's kind of hard because then a part of it might go off the screen and then you can't move it as easily. So just keep that in mind that it won't be as easy to mark up charts on the mobile app. What I personally do, and I find this very helpful, is that I'll just do my markups and my analysis on TradingView as normal, and then what I'll do is kind of copy the same markings onto my phone if I just kind of want to be able to monitor my trades and see it on my phone right away. That's how I will do it. So that's kind of a life hack for you guys. Now when it comes to using MT4 on my laptop, I personally do not mark up my MT4. I'll just use TradingView like I said before. I'll do my analysis there and then I'll execute the actual trade on MT4 on my laptop based on the TradingView analysis. But just for the sake of this video, I will show you guys how to mark up your charts on MT4 directly on your laptop if you choose to do so. So right away, as you can see in this top menu area, there are a bunch of objects and tools that you can choose from. So it's pretty quick and easy to access it. So these objects will always be there by default. These won't change like on the MT4 on the mobile device, how it changes based on what you've chosen. Doesn't matter, you will always just have these available here. But if you need any further tools or objects, you would just go to the top here and click insert, and then you'll see just all the available options here, you know, the shapes, there's different arrows, lines, channels, etc. There's even indicators on this area, so that's where you would find all of that. You can even add text if you'd like. So this is a little more advanced in the mobile version just because of the various options. I have no idea why anyone would need to use thumbs up or thumbs down, but hey, this is a no judgment zone, okay? If you want to do that thumbs up, like liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, go ahead and do that. It's pretty easy to just mark up areas on MT4 on your laptop. Not too hard at all. If you want to modify them or move the places, you have to just double click, and what you'll see on the side here is that there's like this little square. That just means that it's able to move. Once you double click again, it kind of gets locked in. That square gets removed. So that just kind of shows you, and if you want to delete it, you can just backspace delete. So yeah, nice and easy in my opinion. So we have our charts customized to our liking. We know how to use the objects and tools to mark up our charts and do some really amazing analysis. So last but not least, we have to learn how to execute trades on MT4 and MT5. So when it comes to the mobile version of MT4 and MT5, there are actually two ways to access the screen to place your trades. So the first way would be at the bottom there if you choose charts, and at the top you choose trade, and then boom, you're right there in the area where you would be placing your trades. Another way is if you go to trade right beside where it says chart, and then at the top right corner, you're gonna see that cross, you're gonna press that, and then you're gonna be brought to the same window. So as you can see, you can do quite a few things from this screen. At the top here, you can change the currency or the instrument that you wanna use. But just keep in mind that it will only reflect what is under your quotes section. So under quotes, you see that I have just GJ, UJ, and gold. So when I go to trade, and if I change it at the top there, I only have GJ, UJ, and gold as options. So just keep in mind that if you want to make quick changes between charts on that trade screen, then you have to make sure that they are first listed under your quote screen, and so you'll be able just to access it very quickly on the trade screen. So once you have confirmed that the correct currency, commodity, whatever is chosen at the top there, then underneath you're going to see where it says market execution. So if you click that, you will see a bunch of different pending orders as well. So long story short, for those who don't know, market execution essentially just means that you want to take the trade right away in real time. The rest of the options here, which are considered pending orders, basically allows you to predetermine where you want price to go first before you are triggered into entering that trade. So you would just essentially set up everything beforehand, and then you just sit and wait until price triggers you in. It's super automatic, very hands off. So for buy limits, you essentially want price to push down to your desired price point and trigger you into the market before it reverses and pushes up. And then for sell limits, it would just be the opposite, where price is pushing up and then it triggers you in at your desired price point, and then it reverses and pushes down. For buy stops, you want price to be pushing up to your desired price point, where it will trigger you in and then it continues to push up. And then the opposite for sell stops, where price is pushing down, it triggers you in at your desired price point, and then it continues pushing down. So yeah, this is the screen where you'd be setting up your pending orders. So as you can see, there is a line there that says price. So that's where you would put your price point that I was mentioning. That's where you would put where you want price to trigger you in, and then you can put your stop loss, you can put your take profit, etc. So once you have chosen whether to use a market execution or one of the 4 pending orders, then underneath you will see that line there where you can choose your lot size. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to select the lot size as of your choice and adjust it based on your trading plan. When it comes to setting your stop loss and your take profit, like I mentioned in my video about how to avoid blowing your account, the information will not be saved if it is incorrect. So just make sure that you're putting in the correct information and then you're good to go. And then lastly, underneath the stop loss and the take profit area, you're going to see the option to either sell or buy, and then that's where you would do all that. So because with the pending order, you're either choosing buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, or sell stop, it already knows what you're entering. So you would just see place and you would just click that. But when it comes to market execution, you actually have to choose sell or buy. So yeah, that's pretty simple and straightforward. That's pretty much all there is to it. I like that the MT4 and MT5 version on the mobile device is very easy and simple to maneuver. So it's really hard to go wrong. So on the laptop version, you would just go to the top here where it says new order. And then this shows up here. And then you would just choose, you know, the symbol, which is the currency or the, you know, the instrument. Underneath it says volume, that will represent your lot size. And then underneath you'll see your stop loss and your take profit. I don't use the comment section, so yeah, underneath where it says type, this is where you're going to find either market execution or pending order. So if I choose, you know, pending order, then it'll give me the options buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, at price, and then you would just, that's where you put your price point. And then yeah, I guess you can choose an expiry date. If price doesn't end up triggering you in, you can make the whole order expire. So you can do that. That's pretty cool. I think you can do that on the mobile version as well. Another way to access this window is to go to tools at the top here, and then you just select new order, and then boom, you're right back at that area, and you can modify what you need to modify. So that's basically it, guys. Just a quick, straightforward tutorial about the basics on how to use MT4 and MT5 on your mobile device and MT4 on your laptop. So I hope that it was helpful to you guys. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful in any way, shape, or form, please go ahead and smash that like button. I would really appreciate it. Also, feel free to comment down below letting me know if you use either MT4 or MT5, if you prefer it on your mobile device or your laptop, let me know. And last but not least, do not forget to subscribe so you know when I post another video. And in the meantime, feel free to check out any of my other videos on my channel. I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by, and remember, all lives cannot matter until Black lives also matter. And I hope you have a great day, week, and life. Bye!